Hello, folks. How are you? Well, I thought, hello, Twig. I thought I'd do a bit of a live stream after party. After that, hope you like what I did. Um, yeah, I'm just setting up a few things. Hello, Edsy. How are you? Please share out to whoever you want. I don't care. I'll have a few people up later if you want to come up. But yeah, hello, Jam. For a minute, I'm just sharing it all out, sharing the love. That was a bit of a strange place. Honestly, didn't even know it was there. Just come across it, which was a bit weird. But these things happen, which is good in my eyes. Bum, 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 bum. Mm, mm, mm. So what's everybody been up to? It's been a bit busy for me. Hope you can all hear me. Thanks, Adzi. Yeah, it was different. Put it like that. Hello, Gary. Yeah, I'm all right, thanks, mate. Yeah, it was different because, like I said in the video, we actually stopped off to get something to eat and drink on the way home, and next to it was like it just said building for sale, and I'm like, that looks a bit abandoned, like for a while. So I thought I walked down the like the alleyway. It's all smashed in, so I went, right, have to go and have a look at that. Yeah, got another one coming out tomorrow. Not the same as that, so that would be quite good. Also, I see you're watching and reading, but doing some jobs too. Yeah, multitasking. Wonderful. Nice to see people multitask, isn't it? Urban Legend UK, how are you? How are you? Bengal Massive, yeah. I'm getting fatter. I am getting bigger. So, what should we talk about tonight? I don't mind anything really. If you want to talk about that place that I've been to, feel absolutely free to do so. But yeah, that place they had that sort of little Tonka truck in it as well. That was really strange because it's just been you could see it's just been left there, and they're not. They're quite. I don't know if they're quite rare. I think you don't often see them. Put it like that. I'm glad you all enjoyed it, and let's see. Does anybody want to come up? Just put in the chat if you want to come up, and I'll send you the link. Good evening, Royster. hope you're all doing well on this lovely, fine Monday evening. So I've been sitting on that one for a while. I've got another one I'm looking to put out as well, which I did a while ago. It's just getting around to editing them and making them all right. Mm. Yeah. You'll come up, Andrew. Okay. If you're the real Andrew Clark. Tell you what, I'll put the link in here. Oh, no, not that one. If you've got a webcam, feel free to come up. As long as I can see your face. There we go. So Archie's doing some work and so forth. What's everyone else doing this evening? Other than watching me talk absolute bad. Thank you, you know who you are, Barry. Thank you, mate. It's out there now, isn't it? Let's see. Yeah, Gary watching me. Yeah, I know. What more can I say? Little old me sitting here talking to you, everyone. Yeah, just chilling. Well, we all got to chill, haven't we, Adsy? What content do you think I should do more content of? Let me know. Because I am going to do some more interviews, by the way. I need to talk to a few people. It's just been getting around to doing it. But let me know. People are coming in. Right, you've disappeared. What are you doing? Right, on my first guest because I can see him.
Hello.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Tired, but I'm here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right, what have you been doing?
I was just having a little lads trip out yesterday in London. I just got back today, so like 30 minutes ago.
Ah, what? Did you say to London?
Yeah.
All right. Why did you venture to the capital, my friend?
Well, pretty
If you
much.
don't mind me asking, you can tell me to piss off if
it's
you want.
fine. No, it's fine. So pretty much, my mate and I, we do stand-up comedy, and obviously it's been like online gigs and that for the past year. And during doing these shows, we met someone who lives in Rome, and he had a wedding to attend here last week. So we've all met up we've done a few indoor shows together as well. So
nice.
yeah.
Steve Ellis. I have got to be actually. There is a windmill too near where I am. I have got a video coming out. Whereas when I was away, I found one. I got to see it, but I didn't get right close to it. It was a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. We'll put the video up, but it's I found something else when I was there as well, so I'm going to put that up. But it was a shame, really. I couldn't get to it. You'll see when I put it up. It was just like I went across this field, and turned out there was a massive stream or lake next to it. So I thought, all right.
Would you have
drove. Well, yeah, so I drove round to where I thought I could get to it. Had a little bit, and I got to it, and then it was private land, and I went, right, okay, that don't bother me. So I started walking across there. Yeah, well, let's just say I decided to disappear very quickly when there was dogs, and you could just see people coming out. Like, I think I'm going to go now.
Would you have climbed up it?
No, it was all you could see. It was locked. I might have been able to get in, but
yeah, because I know
it looked pretty secure.
Because I'm not too sure with windmills, but I know that with wind turbines, they're literally always open. Like if you stumble, if you stumble across one, you're just bored. You just go over to it, open the door, climb up the ladder, boom, you're up.
But yeah, there was. I wouldn't do. I don't think I'd do a wind turbine, to be honest. They don't really interest me. This was an old windmill, like proper. It would have probably been a flour mill at the time because there was like another one down the road which you pay to get in and all that. So, hi Barry, how you doing? Steve, you're saying that there is one. I know where one is. I've actually been in it before, and they open it up and etc. So I'll have a look to find out when, because it's not too far away. I'll see if it's open, etc. I'll go in there. You get to climb up and see all the, all the grinding stones they have.
Yeah, no, see, because I was trying to find at least one or two explores to do, but I was there to my mate. Do you know what? I can't because I was just there I can't because we've got our friend over who's made their way all the way from Italy, and he's off tomorrow.
Was he going back?
Yeah, he's off tomorrow. So,
do they have to isolate when they come back now, or can they go across without having to?
No, they can just go across. But I completely forgot how tall the buildings are in London are.
Yeah, they're a little bit tall. It's not where you are.
I literally our tallest building is our cathedral, which is 85 meters high, right? And I kid you not, literally when we were making our way into Wembley, I was just there oh my god. The worst thing is my hotel that I was staying at was 28 stories, and I was on the 25th.
That's all right. London, everything's high in London. Just climb up it.
All the people are high. All the people are high. Every building is high. I kid you not. They're literally.
So was it a good time in London though?
Yeah, mate. Brilliant. Oh. Yeah, it's brilliant, mate. Absolutely brilliant. I'm not gonna lie.
What part of London were you
in? Well, I stayed in Baker Street, so pretty much Camden Town. Yeah. So it's just off of Regent's Park.
Did you go down to see? Did you go down to 22A, whatever it is, Baker Street, or 223, whichever it was?
Baker Street.
Yeah, as in Sherlock Holmes. There is. Yeah, I know it's fictitious, but there is an actual bit there, isn't there?
Madame Tussauds as well as there.
Yeah, just Madame Three Spears. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, I was in. I went to Wembley today.
Oh, okay. You
I
travelled a
went
bit
to
then, didn't you?
Tottenham Hotspur, and I started shouting, "You got the worst football team in the world."
Right, I'm going to chuck you off now.
I'm joking. I'm joking. No, I went to Arsenal when I said that.
Oh, I'll change your tune now, didn't you, son? Now there's a Yido in the room.
No, I went to. Oh, where else did I go? I went to Brentford Stadium, and I said,
Right.
"You're going down."
So
But
you've been quite a number of places. I know it's all quite easy on the tube, but they're quite far from each other. Obviously, if you did go to Tottenham Stadium and obviously Madame Tussauds, and that's quite a trip, isn't it? Really.
well, no, Madame Tussauds was literally right outside the hotel, like literally
Oh, okay.
right outside of it.
You didn't go in the
Um,
planetarium then?
no, we didn't actually even go into Madame Tussauds. The only things that we did today was we went on to the London Eye,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Oh,
That's
okay.
literally all we did. But no, I mean,
Hi, Lucy. You all right?
here we go. This is. You've been to London recently, John?
Not recently, but in my time I've been quite a little bit. So yeah,
Yeah.
seen the sights. I used in my in my late 20s, I used to go nearly every weekend. We used to just hop on the tube, on the
Yeah.
train, and onto the tube, and just dot around London.
Here you go, mate. That's what it looks like now.
Oh, yeah, so they're fixing that though, aren't they?
Yeah, still are. But the big C word delayed it by
Yes.
9 months.
Have you ever been in there? Have you
No,
ever seen what's inside that? So if you
no.
look up what is in in Big Ben, you'd be amazed.
Oh no, there's a
It's
lot
not
of stuff.
it's not
Oh,
just a
just a
clock.
second, mate. Just a second.
Steve, that's what I was on about. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, that's the one I was on about. I quite like that. It's a nice place. Oh, I see. You live near the windmill from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Oh, tell me you see the car fly around. Yeah, it is. It's quite unique, and it's still. I think it's get it working for whatever reason. And obviously, they're not making flour with it. But
Oh, sorry, that would be the PR. Whoops.
oh, you animal!
I know. I'm very sorry, but I don't really think that Stella goes down well with me.
No, I'm on that.
Ah, fair enough.
So you haven't been doing any exploring, but you've been doing a bit of stand-up stuff, have you?
Yeah, mate. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I said time and time again I should do it, but
Yeah.
I don't think I will now. I don't want to show you up, son. I'm joking. I'd write a script and I'll forget it all. And then I'd improvise it so much that I'll go completely off topic.
I mean, like, I would say one of the jokes I did at the venue tonight on here, but I don't think it'd be go down very well.
Knowing you, no, probably not.
No.
What's that, Jam? Your phone's died? Oh dear. Plug it in, son. Well, actually, I'll take it you have because you're back.
Some someone asked me earlier if there was any good pubs around Westminster, and I was there like, oh yeah, this place serves really, really, really nice wine and beer and that. They were like, no, we're not going to drink. And I said, yeah, but no, they do really, really good beer and wine. They were like, it's 2 p.m. And I was just there like, well, what are you doing up then?
2 p.m, that's a bit late, isn't it? Should have started about midday. It's London.
Wednesday, I started at 9.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, shit. I mean, could you not look at this? Oh.
What's that?
Oh, my cigarettes.
Deary me.
Mate, it was like, I kid you not, it was like, I think I had 350 facts on there the other day. No, I'm not an alcoholic. No, I'm not an alcoholic, Chan, but
Well, a real alcoholic, as opposed to what? A pretend one. So when you do, so you on tour still, or you just
no,
doing various gigs? That's it. You've done them all.
Yep, done them all.
Oh yeah. Nothing else in the pipeline for it. So you've just given up for now. Write some more material, and then hope for the best.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I completely forgot how expensive cigarettes were in London as well. I think a corner shop was trying to charge me 15 quid for Chesterfields, just a pack.
Bloody hell. Mind you, like areas in London for like if you have a beer, I think the last time I went there, there was like 7 quid a beer.
I could literally a
If not more.
Budweiser, right, just outside of Waterloo Station yesterday. Now I had just gotten off the train at this point, because I was at work yesterday until 4 o'clock. So if I wasn't at work, I would have been there like early morning. But so I got to the pub and I said, right, can I have a Budweiser? But I noticed that it was only in a bottle. Right, do you know how much they said to me it was?
Go on.
£7.50, please. I was there like, get fucked, mate.
I'm sure you didn't say that. I bet you went, okay then, mister, there we are. Don't ask me for my ID.
I didn't. I literally said, fuck yourself, mate. Am I paying that? And he literally just laughed and he said, you don't live in London, do you? And I was like, no. I said, I'm used to getting like an 18 pack for that much money.
Yes, it's an expensive place.
Yes.
Because you're down south, aren't you? So further than I am. So I suppose it gets.
I swear you're more down south than I am.
Where are you?
Winchester.
I don't know. Hang on. As you can see, folks, I'm really good at geography. Well, I don't fucking know where you are. Well, I do know where you are, but no, you're down by the M3, so you're further down than I am.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Ooh, wow. Well, look at that, everyone. Put it in the
Well, put it like this, I'm closer to London than you are by a long shot.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Half hour. No, say 40 minutes.
Oh.
I can get to Bow Street the Blind Beggar in about 40 minutes.
Fuck's sake. Oh god. Like literally on the underground today, like I completely forgot how small the actual tubes are. So I remembered to duck through the door, but then I forgot to duck whilst I was actually in the actual train.
Oh god.
in front
Yeah,
of.
they're all compact, and I don't know if you've ever been on rush hour and stuff, like when it was proper rush hour.
Mate. I had to go to Green Park, mate, at 5:30.
Oh, so you're like that?
Yeah.
Like a tin of sardines waiting to stop. Yeah.
No one was smoking, even though they've said you have to wear a face mask on Transport for London. No one did, except for my friends and I.
Well, at least you're going by the rules, as it were.
Yeah. But yeah, it was fun. And here I am in rainy Winchester again. Honestly, as soon as there was no clouds.
Didn't take you long to get back then, I take it.
Oh mate, it was one of those, like direct ones. So it didn't even stop at Farnborough or Basingstoke, which is like unheard of. It literally went Waterloo, Woking, Winchester. It took me 55 minutes.
Yeah.
But then yesterday when I came up, it took an hour and 40 minutes. For some reason they were doing works on the main line, so we went through like Staines, Chertsey and that.
Bloody hell. I've just got to send a message, hold on. Keep everyone entertained for a minute.
What cigarette is this? Oh, it's Colton. Ooh. Ooh. Chesterfield. Colton. So yeah. I hope everyone is well. Not Twig. Hope you have a great rest of your night, my friend. Stay safe, mate. So yeah. I hope everyone's doing alright. Hope everyone enjoyed their weekend. And yeah. And
yeah, Night Twig, just sent you a message, by the way.
So yes, did you have a good birthday, Mr. Bengal?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was a good birthday. My daughter wasn't well, so I had to take her up the hospital, but she's okay. She's fine.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's one of those things. But
yeah, I
Twig
wasn't going to mention that, mate. But
no, it's fine.
As long as
Twig come down, we had a live about 1 o'clock in the morning in the end.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Got to do it. Right, Ryan. And if anybody else wants to come up, please let me know. But Ryan, I've got to go for a wee to a little boy's room. Okay. So I'm gonna put you on full screen so you can talk to everybody and say what you like. Wow. Be nice. Oh no, hang on. No. I have to put you back again. I don't even know how to do it. Oh, there we go. Look.
Ah, there we go. Hello.
Now be nice to the audience.
I will. I promise you.
And you tell me if he's been naughty, folks, because I'll slap him verbally.
Fast. Oh, you bunch of... I'm just joking, people. So yes, if you've just joined the live stream, make sure you smash the thumbs up, subscribe if you are new. You know what to do, people, all that good stuff. Like the stream, share it out with your friends, family, dogs, cats, whoever. Just share it out. And yeah, hello, Kevin Quinton. Hope you're well, my friend. Hope you are enjoying your Monday evening. Well, night. I don't actually know what time the evening is. I think it's between like 5 and 9 p.m. But I just say evening, even though it's night time. But yeah. Oh, he's back already. Back already. Oh.
Yes, I'm back. Show your face if you want to come up.
Oh, what? Is someone wanting to come up? Oh, is it a... Do you reckon?
I don't actually know. it is what it is.
We need to see this. We need to see this, a face.
Yeah, because I'm not getting burnt.
No. It doesn't matter if it looks like a slapped arse, just you need to show your face to be able to come up.
It's all a bit weird.
They still there?
Yeah. I told them what to do. They know.
Yeah. B, hello. Hope you're well.
Hello, B.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry, that's what I had.
Have you gone? Oh, you frozen.
Am I back? Urban Legends, stop it. John, you can even go back. Oh,
yeah. What have you been saying about me, Ryan? You cheeky bastard.
I didn't even say anything. I just said hello. How's everyone? I did go right, you bunch of.
I did hear that, and then I went out the door. So anything after that, well, you may have got away with it.
Oh, it's Subaru apparently.
Well, I can't see him at the moment, so I'm waiting.
Yeah, well.
I'm just trying to sort something else.
But yeah, no. Yes, the accent I had to do because it was a triple duet show. So it was me, my friend, and then Michael. So me, Kim, Michael, and we all had to do 3. So this was my accent for the whole night. Hello. Good evening. I am Gordon Bradford.
That's not even a good accent, is it? It's like, hello, I'm Gordon Ramsay. Doesn't sound it. Come on, son.
Well, no, because it's on a live. So in person, it sounds different. Like for instance, right before I met Michael for the first time yesterday, like his voice is completely different on a computer than in real life.
Yeah. That's the thing. A lot of us sort of sound different, don't we?
Still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Well, yeah, because like,
have I frozen?
For instance, right, the person who came to England. Pardon?
Yeah, I'm still here. Did I freeze?
No, you didn't freeze, mate.
That's all right.
Yeah, you will. You'll have to watch it back, John. I said some very horrible words.
Did you? I hope they were words beginning with F, B, F, Z, whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, no, before I met my person who came from Italy for the first time, like he could not hear any South African in my voice at all. But when he met me in person, he was like, African, yeah.
You're frozen, mate. I don't know why.
Yeah, my internet keeps on going a little bit. Yeah, Owen. Oh, well, Mr. Volt himself has posted a video called Mr. John Bengal live stream now. So look at that. We may get some.
Oh, nice. Thank you very much. He's obviously around somewhere then. I did send him a message if you wanted to come up. But,
yeah, no, I know you're only joking, Urban Legend, mate. I hope, mate.
Or what? Or was he? Are you trying to stir the pot, Mr. Legend? That looked a bit rude, really, didn't it? Trying to stir the pot.
Oh God, steady on, John. Only Monday.
It's only Monday, but I feel like it's like already the end of the week, so it's like fucking hell. So, what's all that about? Do you ever get these messages on your phone? Right, it's just like comes up with some little icon. You have no idea what it is. You look down, and scroll down, it's not even there. Oh yeah,
Gary New.
Hi, Dark Corners. How you doing? Hi,
Gary Newman. I haven't even had my vaccine.
Are you going to have it or not?
Yeah, no, I am going to have it, but they honestly, they're like, can you do it this day? And then they're like, yeah. Now, there was so in June there was a date, so it was June 19th that I was supposed to have my first one, but I did have to pull out of that one because one of my mates needed me that day to help them move something, so I had to say, look, really sorry, got to do this. So then they were like, okay, that's fine. So then August 2nd comes around, right? I get to the vaccination centre. Guess what? They say, sorry, you're late. Yet it says 11:15 for my vaccination, and I get there 30 minutes early.
Just go again. Hello, punches, couches. I take it you come from Dark Place.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, folks. We've got. I don't know whether this is a real person or not. Actually, I can't see his face.
Well, you can't see my feces. You shouldn't be looking there.
What an entrance! You can't see my feces.
You can't, mate, because I put them in different toilets at different places, and I hide them, and I mix them up with other people's. I get other people's, and I put them on top so that you can't tell which one's mine, unless you've got a good nose.
Is that to confuse the forensics later on in the day?
Well, yeah. When the security come and they go, "Who's shat in my toilet?" Like, it's like the tail. It's like the tale of the three bears. It's like mummy bear, daddy bear, and baby bear. And then it's like, who shat in my toilet? Who had my food? Who had my porridge? But it's more like, who shat in my toilet and didn't flush it? On top of 10 other turds. On top of 10 other turds.
Oh.
Yeah. Who put an 11th turd in my toilet? Yeah. Hi, Ryan. How you doing?
Not too bad, Matt. And yourself?
Not too bad, thanks. What's been going on?
Good.
Are you still heterosexual at the moment, by the way? Sorry, I just had to ask. Are you still heterosexual?
Wait, what?
You're not flip-flopping anymore.
Wait, what? No, what?
He's asking whether you did your wig or
I've
whether
been in
you
London
just did your wig.
Past 30 hours. I'm too tired.
You've been in London for the last 30 hours. Is this your way of answering whether or not you're heterosexual? I'll take that as a gay then, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Because we all know what goes on in London. Come on, I like winding you up, especially because you were the one who started it and said that you thought you were gay at one point, but then now you got a girlfriend. Anyway, we'll forget that then. It just winds him up every time I say it. It just goes mental.
He's frozen now. His face was like, not fucking happy.
Come on, Ryan. You should know by now. You know by now, right? I'm going to say it to you. Every time I know it's going to wind you up, I'm going to say it to you. I'm a mean bastard.
Hi, Safari. How you doing?
And what I'm doing is I'm conditioning you to be able to not be wound up by it. That's what it is.
It's conditioning you not to be bothered by Big Brother.
Yeah.
Are you gay or are you straight? Let us know now. We'll put a barcode on your arm. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
A bit of George Orwell, 1984, kicking in as always,
Yeah. I'm conditioning him to be not afraid of Big Richard, actually. But yeah,
Big Richard.
Cliff Richard, yeah, as well.
Richard.
Yeah, yeah. Bigger stickers. Yeah.
Oh dear. So Matt, what you been doing? All good?
Well, apart from winding up Mr. Ryan.
Oh, that goes without saying.
Not a lot. Until I came on here, I was being a good boy and editing a video, which is 1 hour 25 minutes long, of an exploration of a Liverpool office building, which was a laser quest on one floor, a gymnasium on 2 floors, and then a nightclub on 2 floors. And it was just a crazy sort of like mix of things in one building, and it's a right old mess. And we wandered in and found homeless people just like sleeping, and I was like, you know, it was quite mad. Yeah. And then they woke up and we started chatting with them, and it was like they were quite cool. Did ask me for some money though, so I gave him what I had because I didn't want to be bummed, and you know, given free heroin. Yeah. Yeah. You know, he asked me for whatever change I had, sir. And I went, please don't bum me. I've never had it before.
There's this one person in the chat trying to actually annoy me. It's funny as hell. It's more funny than annoying.
I'm not trying to annoy you. I'm just trying to see if we can turn you over to the dark side. Oh, right. Oh, they're starting on you now, see? Yeah. Anyway, I just burst on as I usually do. Anyway, hello, Mr. John Bengal. I don't think I've even said hello yet, have I? I'm just like, bosh.
No, you thoroughly horrible man.
Yeah, I hate myself every minute I wake up. Yeah.
I'm all right. Yeah, I've just done a premiere, so I thought I'd do a live as well and just talk absolute whatever. I don't mind. Don't care what the subject is really. Makes it all happen,
you were going to do this the other night, but you got otherwise waylaid.
Yes, I did. Yeah. So that's all sort of resolving itself. So that's good.
That's good. Yeah, good stuff.
But yeah, it'll sort itself out, won't it? You know, but these things happen.
Right.
But other than that, it's yeah. I've actually managed to edit a video today or two, so I've got some more coming out.
So I'm not taking the piss. There's just something flying through the room. I'm not like going, oh, what? It's edited a video? It's like, really?
You
oh my God!
Retarded then, didn't you? You're like, what are we doing? What am I doing here?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Stop editing videos. Stop doing it to me.
Yeah, stop doing it. I don't understand. Someone said in the chat you got the same shirt on from yesterday, Matt. I don't see a problem with it personally.
I've got an air conditioning unit. It's cool in my house, and I don't really do that much. Yeah. Same t-shirt from yesterday. Yeah, probably does smell a bit, but then who am I meeting? Who the hell do I meet? So what does it matter? Besides which, this might be a pre-recording. We might have made it yesterday, so just think about that. Maybe we're lying to you.
Yes, everyone, we are lying to you. It isn't actually live.
Yeah.
So you've been typing all the comments in, and we've just somehow been editing it as we go. That'll be a fucking feet and a half.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Really, did I put this? Yeah, I think it was on my live stream yesterday, but I only put it on in the afternoon to go out, so it's only been on like, you know, nearly 24 hours.
Well, folks, you just give Matt a complex now. It's like, oh, fucking hell, I've got the same shirt off from yesterday. I must smell. I must go and shower.
Well, I mean, I had my shorts on for a week, but they only go on when I leave the house, so therefore the way I say, well, it's not like they're permanently on me, because I come in the house, I strip off, I'm video editing naked. As you do.
That sounds a bit wrong.
Literally. I know, but I do. Because I just don't like the sort of like restriction of clothing. I don't like things on me. A bit of a naturist, perhaps, at heart.
No, I'll get that point, because I obviously wear different clothes, but like you always have comfortable clothes, don't you? What you wear at home. Unfortunately, I people, so I can't go naked.
I mean, I have actually gone on in my dressing gown a couple of times, right? Just because I'm being lazy. But I realise that, people, they have their opinions about like slack-looking bollocks. So they sort of like, oh, look at him, he's just being such a slack bastard. So I bothered to put a t-shirt on. Now they would complain that t-shirt's not good enough, and I have to change it regularly. Look, I know that American people have got they've got complexes about needing to change like things every day, like socks every day, underpants every day. I can go with the underpants perhaps, but like it just really depends, doesn't it? I mean, you don't need to change your jeans every day. And only if you're in a really warm climate would you have to change your t-shirt. And we do not live in warm United States climates, although there's a lot of parts of the states are not warm, but we do not do this. But I mean, much in the same way as they tell you need to be circumcised if you live in the United States, because they've got like we've got to mutilate old babies because it is cleaner, and it's not fucking cleaner at all. Yeah, no, it's bullshit.
That's originally, obviously, we know about the sort of the Jewish side of things, but they also circumcise boys because if they're naked and they're playing in the dirt, the one reason why is obviously they're playing in the dirt naked. They're going to get a bit of dirt where you don't want it, so they found it better to do that, rightly or wrongly, I must say.
Well, it just goes to prove that without circumcising their children, which is actually quite a barbaric act, which comes from thousands of years ago, when the priests used to rip off the circumcised skin with their teeth, which is like, where does that come from? Because they did have knives, and knives were sharper than teeth, and it could have done a better job. But no, religion demanded that it had to be done with their teeth, right? Well, we all know what religions are like, and we all know how zealous they get, and we all know that they all demand, like, you must do this because we say so. So, of course, to justify it, then they go, oh, but it's because of cleanliness. It's got all to do with cleanliness, right? And it's a big bugbear of mine, and it is unfortunately permeated down through American society to tell everybody that actually the reason you need to do this is because it's cleaner for you, and it's not. And in a lot of cases, it actually causes more problems than if you just left it alone. Unless you've got a medical need, like your frenulum limb is so closed that you can't do anything, like you couldn't have sex or you couldn't pee, then possibly. But otherwise, nature's way is best. The way I look at it is like, if you've been circumcised, then to me, if you believe in God, and that's why you're saying you really need to do it, then what you're doing is you're basically saying God made a mistake and we need to correct this. And I think that's bullshit. And yet, if God made a mistake and you need to correct it, right? So you're basically chopping up and mutilating God's wonderful gift of the body, right? Which I think is a bit of a weird one to kind of justify. Then how come you're not allowed to have tattoos and be a Freemason? Because that is mutilation of the body. It is mutilation of God's wonderful, but hang on, Freemasonry all comes from the Jewish tradition. So hang on, you're going, you cannot mutilate yourself, but you must mutilate yourself on the genitals, one of the most important sacred parts of your body, we'll mutilate that, but no, you can't mutilate anything else. And when we mutilate that bit, we got to rip it off with the teeth. Yeah, right. Whatever.
I never heard of that. I agree with what you're saying, but I never heard about the teeth bit. I never knew that.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I will look at that and have a read, however horrible it may be. But yeah, you're right. I mean, they take it from what is it? Treat the body as a human temple. So obviously, tattoos, other bits and pieces, drinking it, you can't do. But quite rightly, what you said.
Hypocritically, let's just lop this bit of the temple off. Yeah. But I love hypocrisy in religions. I love it. So, yeah, I'm glad to be intact.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, I've got a tattoo, but I don't find it a mutilation because it's adding to it rather than you're not taking anything away. Okay, you put it in the skin, it's permanent. But that if you look at a lot of tribes which have got some type of, I don't know, religion, shall we say, and I'll say that in quotes because you can go to the deepest part of Africa or somewhere with a tribe who aren't westernized and they will have some type of religious structure 9 times out of 10, and they're tattooed. They have rings on their neck. They have big old things on their mouth will come out. So this westernized thing saying you can't do this, you can't do that. I like yourself. I disagree with quite a lot of it.
Yeah, I think that the thing is as well is probably some sort of consideration that it's like a tribal thing, and certain societies have got kind of things that are against kind of pagan religions or things of that nature. So therefore, they would be anti anything that kind of decorates your body in a way that's not like, for their religion, which is like a purist kind of thing. And so I don't know. It's all bloody weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it does come down to purists, though. I think you're absolutely right. It comes down to purists because there's so many derivatives in religion, but on a secular purist, they won't. Someone who's like that, they won't have any tattoos. They will not. They will not drink. Obviously, certain foods they won't eat. The list goes on.
Yeah. People keep on saying to me, like, Matt, have a tattoo. And people I know who do tattoos, they're like, oh, Matt, I'll do a tattoo on you. You're like, so don't really want one, Don't really see the need.
No,
I mean, and they're like, yeah, but it's like it's a statement, isn't it? It's like, well, I'm a big enough fucking statement walking on my 2 legs with my big mouth. I don't need to freaking put it on my arms. You know what I mean? It's like, here I am. I'm one big motherfucking statement, like, So,
no, I have no real interest in getting a tattoo ever. I don't see the point really.
I think
because then it's on you for the rest of your life. Like, if it goes wrong, then it's going to be on you for the rest of your life, unless you get it lasered off, which apparently fucking hurts. Like mad.
Yeah, it has to burn it out, basically, the laser.
Yeah.
It depends on the colours. I think it's these little things. They keep on doing this. They've little things flying through the room. Yeah, but I don't know how they get in.
I get that. They're little fuckers, isn't they?
Yeah, the window's closed, like. I think it must be like a tiny air gap through the window, and they just managed to sort of crawl away through. Yeah, sorry, what were you saying then? That distracted me then. You were saying like there's no point in bothering with it. Yeah. The thing is as well, right? I mean, it's just me, right? I see a lot of people have tattoos, right? And I think they look messy. Some people have good quality tattoos, but I mean, they fade with age and then they have to be redone, right? And a lot of it is so dark, like the quality of what's been done is dark, and it's like you've got to really kind of what am I looking at, And then, you know, if you want to know what it is, you have to ask them, like, well, what is the significance of what I'm actually looking at? You know, and it's like, and then they go, ooh, and they start to explain it to you. But like straight off the bat, it doesn't jump out at me as being like, what exactly is all that about? You know, and I just don't get it. You know, and sorry, Ryan.
Yeah, like in town as well. Like there's a sign where there's a tattoo shop and it says £50, and I'm just there like, no, I'm sorry. If you're gonna get a £50 tattoo, it's just gonna go wrong.
Oh,
yeah, but like,
go on, man.
Every inch. Some people like have a tattoo and then they got a gap, and then they have to have a tattoo in the gap, and then they have another one and another one, and they fill the whole arm, and then their chest, and then their legs, and they're completely head to toe covered in fucking little bits of art, you know. But what is the overall kind of message? It's just like crammed in there. It's just like crammed in, crammed, and it's just like, you know, it's like a doodle book, you know, like, oh, where's a spare bit of space? So you draw a little smiley face in there. It's like, oh yeah, all right, okay, well over here, maybe what I'll do is I'll modify this so it's now like horns and a demon, and it's like, you know, people have this like thing, and they want to put skulls and sort of like dark demony things on themselves. It's like, you know,
and like,
what's all that about?
When I was walking through Camden Town yesterday, I bumped into someone, right, who had them all over his face, all over his arms and that, right? So like absolutely covered, like eye all up here, everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And he literally, right, so we were both having a cigarette, and I was just there, and he just said to me, "You would not believe what I looked like before I had all this done." So he showed me a photo. Jesus Christ. Like, he actually looked just then, he just looked like he wanted to be avoided by people.
Yeah, I feel quite uncomfortable when I see somebody that has all that tattooing on their face, and they like have, you know, like lumps put in their skin and shit like that, and then it makes me feel uncomfortable, because on one hand I want to look at it, and on the other hand you think like I shouldn't really look at it because then it's intrusive. But it's like, but what the fuck did they have it for? They wanted people to look at it, surely, because it's what they look like. But if you stare at somebody, you feel awkward because, well, I'm actually fucking staring now. So you find yourself trying to slyly stare at these sorts of people. But, you know, I think the overall experience is awkward. You know, it's not like, you know, I wish in some ways you could just go up to him and go, all right, mate. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, hang on, mate, that's a bit much. It's like, oh, really? Well, I thought you wanted us all to have a fucking good look, like, you know, because you're like walking down the street like this with a big fucking load of weird shit on your face, you know. So I thought you really wanted us to have a good old look, like, you know. It's like
this is well, like,
it's really
when
weird
I was on the tube earlier to Hammersmith, I haven't. Sorry, John, go ahead, mate.
Nah, carry on, mate. Carry on.
Oh no, sorry, but when I was on the tube to Hammersmith, like,
I breaking up all the time.
I had about.
You keep breaking up all the time, Mr. Ryan.
Yeah, I literally had like 9 or 10 cameras pointed at me. All I heard was people going, "Oh God, look at how tall he is! Oh my God, oh God!" Just there, like, fuck's sake! I just want to go to where the fuck I need to go to.
Well, are you particularly tall then?
Yeah, pretty.
Go on, then. How tall are you?
6'3". No, sorry, 6'4" and a quarter. So
it's okay. Yeah, it's not incredibly tall.
It's not incredibly.
I'm 6'1", but yeah.
But for some,
but like people are like going, "Ooh, that's weird." What were they? Chinese or something? Short asses.
They were American.
We're only 5 foot. You're 6 foot.
pygmies from the Amazon, like, you know.
I mean, there you go.
And they were like, were they related to Warwick Davis or something? Were they?
Little Ewoks everywhere.
Yeah, fucking Warwick Davis and his son.
His son towers over him and makes me laugh. I don't know why it's like, oh dear.
I thought they were both sort of like midgets or dwarves. Sorry, is that you're not allowed to say that? You're not allowed to say dwarves.
No, Jackson. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, tattoos do look cool in that, but like, I wouldn't have them done. Like, if you want to have a tattoo done, you can.
Oh well, I've got a tattoo, so I doesn't bother me, and I'll get more.
But, like, I just personally would not have it.
I mean, I got it, but I got my tattoo for my daughter when she was born, so that's on my shoulder. I'm going to get a few more for my other kids, but
there you go.
That's because I wanted to put that on there, and I'll probably get a bigger one as well because I like tattoo art, but I wouldn't do sort of all over my body. That's just me. It's not. I'd rather just have 1, 2, which are decent. They look nice, and there's something to look at rather than just like a little heart going, "I love such and such." The old cliche thing. But like you were talking about body modification earlier, like with people putting lumps in their head, and there was one guy, I can't remember who it was, but he put like coral in his head, and it started growing out. But why would you do that? And when they cut the tongues, sorry if anybody's squeamish, but when they cut the tongues and they do all that crap, it's like that is just not worth it. The same as when they do the same thing with the penis. They cut that down the middle, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's great." Yeah, so the complications with that is unreal anyway. But why would you do it?
I think people are just obsessed with like messing with themselves. They can't leave themselves alone. It's like an obsession. I suppose they must sort of like spend a lot. Do they spend? I don't know. Maybe they spend a lot of time looking at themselves in the mirror, like, and going, "Oh, I know what I'm going to do there," and dreaming about it. Like, they dream and dream and dream about it until they're gonna do it. But it's the same thing with people who have like, and it's all the rage, isn't it? What surgery? Plastic surgery to change the look of their face, and that's all they do is change like the nose that looks like this into a nose that looks a bit more like that, or like that, and it's like, really, is there much point? Unless you look like what's that guy off Streets of San Francisco who had a fucking huge honker. Unless you look like you've got a disfigurement or something. I mean, really, all this fucking people who puff their lips up, fucking grow up, for fuck's sake. Like.
So that guy. I mean, I think some people do have body I can't remember what it's called now. Body misformity. No, I can't remember what it's called. But they want to change their body constantly because they're not happy with it.
Yeah.
There was a guy who you probably might have seen it, Matt, and maybe you, Ryan. The guy who wanted to look like a cat. Did you ever see that? So he he had these inserts here and had like hair and all that, and he had all tattoos and his eyes. Now that's
he was called Stalking Cat. That was his character name, Stalking Cat. And he lived in Tonopah. I looked him up actually because he lived in Tonopah, and I went through Tonopah once when I was on my way to Area 51, and I thought, fucking hell, I wish I could have bumped into him, but he committed suicide. He wasn't happy. It didn't make him happy. Oh. In fact, I think it was a bit of a burden for him. He tried to get like jobs in his local town, but it was just like he was sort of like the local freak, and I mean, why have it done if you're not going to absolutely love every moment of it? Like, the reality is, it's like when you have it done, maybe it doesn't make you perfect and it doesn't change your life for the better. And actually, more people are kind of like laughing at you, across the street than them coming over and having a chat with you, and it's like, everyone's reaction is like, what the fuck, it's like, what the fuck, then maybe they'll get to speak to you and they'll go, oh, okay, yeah, but their fucking initial reaction is, what the It's like, what the fuck? You know, it's just not. I mean, I'm not saying everyone has to be the same. You know, if you want to be, you know, different, that's entirely up to you. But it's also like saying I don't really want to see people fucking nude walking down the street like in the middle of the day. It's just like, you know, there's a time and a place for it. Like, put some makeup on if you want to become like a cat, and then take it off when you're finished. Like, you know, go to a nightclub, have your fun, take it off, become normal again. You know, you're permanent. It's just like, you know, no, I've got to permanently be this thing. Yeah.
Yeah, someone's put dysmorphia. Yeah, body dysmorphia. That's what I was trying to remember it was called. So that's a real psychological sort of thing what people
Illness.
are.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. And so I can understand why some people do this.
I would say as well, like people who are what do they when they starve themselves? Anorexic. You know, anorexia nervosa and all that.
Yeah,
vomiting up because they want to be super, super, super thin. I mean, that's kind of like an illness, and I think, you know, to a certain degree, like people who are not happy with their face and they got to tattoo it and then tattoo on the tattoo and then, you know, like all that. I just think there's something slightly going on upstairs which is not healthy. You know?
Yeah, I mean, especially when people tattoo their eyeballs. You must have seen that.
Yeah.
I've never understood. I mean, why would you do that? You have to put a needle in just to colour it. I mean, and then it just looks completely weird. It's beyond me why you would do it. I mean, tattoos, fine. Piercings, I'm not bothered with either. I've had piercings myself. Mainly because I wanted to have it done. Not now, don't need to, but I've had it done. But when for me, there's a certain limit. Whereas you don't need to start disfiguring yourself or making yourself something that you're not.
I'm not a great fan of makeup, to be honest. As well, I'm like I see some. No, not really. I see some. I mean, it's like if you kiss somebody who's got makeup on, it's bollocks. You know, like lipstick to a degree as well. It's like grease. You know what I mean? It's like lipstick, makeup. It's just all bollocks, and you just, you know, just hiding who you really are. I think it's like you're not happy with yourself. It's like I've got to cover myself up in loads of makeup and all that. And you know, it's like I think some people maybe, because I mean, I've seen some people who've got like massive, like, you know, blotches on their face and things like that, and again that attracts attention, so they kind of tone it down. But then you got like 90% of women are just not happy with themselves at all, like, and they think it's like an upgrade, like to make themselves look, you know, nice, you know, because they're getting a bit older or they're not happy, you know, like they're 20 years of age and they're just like, no, I've got to be like specially made up. And it's like, you're 20 years of age, for fuck's sake. I could understand it more when you were like 50 or 60, but like, you know, you're 20 and you're pulling your eyelashes out and then redrawing with like a felt tip pen, your fucking eyelashes. It's like, just leave the original ones on there, you dickhead. You know, it's like you just ripped your fucking eyelashes out. Now you're painting them back on. What do you want? Do you want eyelashes or not?
So throw a curveball. So do you think, and this is solely our own opinions, not obviously what everybody else thinks, and it's a right or wrong answers here. Do you think that the way society has driven this to people? So people don't think they look good, so they slap on the old makeup and make themselves look what they are. Do you think it's because society sort of breeds this? You must look great. You must look beautiful at all times. So, you know, you get like the average woman will go, I don't like my face because they're being conditioned, and even men as well, being conditioned to put the makeup on to make them look the part every day of their lives when they go out. Or do you just think it's something we just don't like what we look like as a human race?
Yeah, I think obviously women are very driven by what other people think. So therefore, they're always trying to chase what other people are doing, wearing what other people are wearing, changing their house colors so it's like what other people have got, and all this sort of stuff. And they're chasing rainbows, basically. They're chasing dreams. And I think that, if you come across, you look like you've got a sort of like a fake tan on, and I'm thinking this is fucking clown shoes, because if you go like that, you're fucking white as fuck. But from Europe, you're like fucking tan, and it's like, so how do you do it then? You gotta do that down your fucking arms and on your hands, because otherwise it's gonna look like clown shoes against this. So you really are not happy with your own looks, your own natural looks. It's all got to be fake, otherwise you're not doing well, And it's like, what? Yeah, I just can't believe that people, obsess on it so much. Put fake eyelashes on. How much fucking time that takes? All this time that that people spend on doing that sort of nonsense.
That must be so bad, isn't it? You go out one night, you pull some bird, looks at $1 million. Oh, that's really good. Take her home, do the business. You wake up in the morning, obviously she's taken the makeup off in the meantime. Something completely different. You're like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah. Well, that's it. I mean, yeah, it's kind of I really don't like the idea of it, because it's like it's false advertising in many ways. I mean, you could go to extremes and fucking like actually put like latex, prosthetics on, like from a Hollywood thing, and put cheeks on, and and all this stuff. It's just fucking, like you don't even look like that. You know what I mean? It's like you might as well just pull the Tom Cruise mask off from Mission Impossible, and you're somebody completely fucking different. So I don't know. I think
Chinese, isn't it? The Chinese women, they do a lot of that. I've seen that before. Someone's mentioned it in the chat as well. They put like fake lashes on. They do various things to their face, and they're probably like a 30, 40-year-old woman, wrinkles everywhere, looking quite fucking worn, and they put all the makeup on. They look like 20 years younger. And I don't know if you've ever seen that. It's quite weird.
Yeah, I mean, they do that weird thing as well, where they go like pasty face, like I think it's Chinese and Japanese. They just like totally white out their face, so it's like porcelain, like white. It's just like slap on the white, like like whitewash your face and then draw your eyes back in, and little red lips with the little red lips, and it's just like. Is that supposed to be? Is that supposed to be like, whoa? You got some Japanese guy literally like creaming in his pants like, just like what? You're gonna lick that whitewash off that face, are you? Is it really? Walking around in frigging clogs, that must be so uncomfortable. They're the stupidest things I've ever seen in my life. They're literally like
clogs, man.
A plank of wood. A plank of wood, yeah, but I mean, like, they're not even balancing the front to the back of the shoe. They're actually a plank of wood, and in the middle of the plank of wood, there's a little bit of wood. So you've got to be really careful how you walk, so you don't fall forwards or backwards on them, because they're. I mean, it's the epitome of stupidity, and that's what it's meant to be. It's like you are ultra conforming because you are doing the most stupid thing. You've painted your face. You're walking around. You're shuffling around. You're shuffling around like this. Like you can't move your arms and walk normally. You're shuffling about like all right, and you've got clogs on, so you can't. You're going to be really careful. You can only, and be careful walking down the stairs. It's just like, why women are not happy? They got to wear bloody shoes which make them 10 inches taller. Deform their feet. It takes some years to get used to wearing them because they're so bloody uncomfortable and trip you up and all this. And women are not happy about their height. They're not happy about this. Fuck. It's just like, yeah, I'm going on about women. I suppose
blokes are the same to a certain. There's obviously some blokes. They have ops to do their pecs, their tadger, arse. Everything, even you can get your asshole bleached and stuff like that. Why do you need that?
Well, maybe if you got somebody looking up there just about to stick their tongue in it, then it might be more appealing. But it's not something I'm really into, to be honest. So, yeah.
What, the rimming or just the bleaching of the arsehole, Matthew?
Yeah, really. Yeah.
You know, it's always good. I saw that there's a program with Vanessa Phelps on. She's just doing live surgery and all this crap.
I think she should have it. She should definitely have it, because I wouldn't look up there in a million. If you gave me £1 million, I wouldn't look up her arsehole. Fuck that.
But no,
John,
I do understand that there's a medical condition that you need to have it. But other than that, sorry, what was right, Ryan?
I'm going to head off now, mate.
Are you tired, son?
No, he's going to look up bleaching his arsehole, I think. He's going to be, he's like, oh, really? You can get that done? We're going to check your browser history. We're going to want to see your browser history afterwards. You know, it's like, really? You can get your arsehole bleached?
Once you've got it bleached, right, what you need to do, Ryan, is look up another company and they make chocolate arseholes as well. They make a mould of your arsehole and make it into a chocolate for you.
There you go. There's quite a few people have had their penises. Yeah, they've had like you can get. Okay, welcome, cheers.
Mate. Take care.
See you later, Matt. Bye bye. And in the
cheers, mate. People like Jimi Hendrix have had, like lots of famous actors have had their penises molded, like their genitals molded and plaster of Paris, and so that there are genuine copies out there, and it's classed as art of these famous people's penises. There was an artist that used to go and do it, and I've never heard of them making one out of your arsehole though, but that's weird.
What, a chocolate?
Yeah,
seriously, look it up. Honestly, you can they will take a mold of your butthole, and then you can give it to a loved one. As simple as that.
Right.
Not something that I would envision to do, but there's a market for it.
Well, yeah, I'm sure there is. Yeah. But the thing is, if I had a mold of my penis done, I would want to then instruct them to make it bigger, just much bigger, infeasibly big, and then say to them, right, tell everybody it really is like that, because it will fuck with their heads. Yeah, and yeah. Just to fuck with their heads, not. It could be anatomically correct, but I just want them to stretch it. So it's people are like, how is it that big? It's like, well,
a few inches.
Yeah, but not because I really care about my own penis being that big, but it's just to fuck with people, Yeah. So they
want to give them a mind fucker. There we are. Look, it's that big.
Yeah.
When you eat this, just think about it. Think about the real thing.
Yeah, maybe that's the thing. See, maybe what I would think would be funny is to say open an exhibition and say famous people have had their penises and vaginas and things done, but fuck with them, yeah, right? Actually make their penises much, much bigger, and people will go in there and they'll be like, what? How? And they'd be looking at it, and you can see people will be not happy. They'd be like, okay, yeah, but how come all famous people have got such big cocks and big vaginas and I haven't? And it would be fucking with people, because it would be a piss take of what it should be like, which is actually it's only about that big, but it's they're more like that big, and it's what the fuck? And it's they would.
So the
people would be coming out of there depressed.
and the people who you really don't like and just think they're up themselves, going, yeah, look at me, just make it smaller,
make them smaller, yeah, make it like Richard Burton had a micro penis or something. You know what I mean? Just fuck with people like they would go like, why is these people so big, and why is he got a micro penis? How come nobody said about it? Like, you know, and why would he have his penis done if it was a micro penis? Why would he have agreed to have it done? You know, surely he wouldn't want people to know. He'd be like his little private secret. But he obviously didn't give a shit. He didn't give a shit. Like, he was living life to the max. He had a micro penis, and he wants everyone to see that he had a micro penis. And it's just like wall to wall, all these like penises on display, and you know, but like you just fucking with people, you know. Just tell them it's a realistic display of what people's penises actually were like, and it's
make it so the other one's got a kink in it, or there's a double-barreled love monkey or something. It's just some really weird ones.
Yeah,
this one had a barb on it.
Yeah, maybe like put like a gash and stitches down the side of one. Is you had to have an operation. But people are like, why is this? This is just doing my nut. This is just doing my head in.
That would do your nut in.
Yeah. Yeah. I tell you, I had a funny one the other day. I don't know how relevant this is, but I have these little things, these suppositories. They're like little bullets, and they stick them up your bum if you're getting like a lot of pain from kidney stones, which I haven't had for a while. But I put one of these things in my wallet as an emergency thing, you know, just in case I needed it. You know, I put one in my wallet. But unlike any other medication I've ever kept in my wallet, it's in quite a well sealed thing, you know. But I just thought, I reckon this has gone to liquid. So if I take it out here now, it's going to be liquid and it's just going to run out. But I didn't dare open one up. Anyway, I was in the car the other day, and I was sitting waiting, and I was like, oh, looking through my wallet, checking out old receipts. Yeah. Oh, it's that thing. Oh yeah. And I actually sort of like started peeling it, and it just went whoosh and just like shot all over the windscreen, like spunk all over the windscreen. And it was literally like white spunk all over my windscreen. And I was like, shit, quick, get some tissue paper and clean it off. And it was like, oh my God. Yeah. It was totally liquid. You can't keep those in your wallet or in a car or anywhere that's warm, because it's just going to be a bloody nightmare. You couldn't possibly use it, you know. It's not going to be solid.
I've had to use one or two before. I've never thought of that, but that is bad.
Yeah, they're not.
What's this?
Yeah, they need to make those things out of like a jelly, not a bloody wax. They're like paraffin wax, and at room temperature, it bloody goes funky.
White and cloudy.
Well, yeah, it was a bit.
It's a good job no one was walking past when you did that. So you're like that down there like this, going, right, we'll try and open this, and all of a sudden that would have looked really bad.
Yeah.
It's not what you think. It was a suppository.
Yeah. I've put the comments up now. I'll try and read them because I'm bloody useless. But yeah, embarrassing moments.
Scroll through because I'm dying for a pee. So I'll put you on full screen if that's all right.
Ooh,
I go for a quick wee, so you can take over and do what you normally do. You know, just.
Well, I'm gonna draw in my fucking eyebrows now, sort of like, you know, like I'm a woman. Yeah.
Oh, you're so vain, Matthew. You're so vain.
Oh,
drawing it in.
Yeah.
I remember you putting that moustache on once. That made me laugh.
Yeah. I am a bit sort of like thing about my black eyes sometimes, you know, like I get sleep eyes, and sometimes I do stick some sort of like stuff in there to take the darkness out of it. Yeah, panda eyes. Yeah. And some people get that really bad. I watched Louis Rossman, and it's just the way he's born, but it's like he's got massive like blackness around his eyes. It's like, oh God, Louis Rossman. if anybody knows who I'm talking about. Yeah. Robert, that video was horrid. What are they talking about then? Serum cream or bull sperm? Oh my god. Yeah. What do these stars do now? They take what do they take out of babies? They take stuff out of aborted fetuses, don't they? And they inject it into themselves or rub it on their. Oh, it's just like, what? Yeah. David Wilson says, Matt, have I found out about the situation with Gareth's possessions and services? No, I haven't, because I've written to Percy, who's supposed to be in charge of it, and he hasn't got back to me. This was also the chap who said, I will keep you in touch about what's happening with the funeral arrangements, and didn't tell me that Gareth has already been cremated on Friday. So we weren't able to send him any flowers because I was not told. And I don't say it's his fault, but we weren't told, you know, and it's record-breaking time to get somebody in and cremated, like, you know, but I think his missus wanted it done quickly and she didn't want anyone there or whatever. That's their choice. But unfortunately, it fucked things up slightly because there's no flowers. So I sent the money to his brother in Wales. So it's gone, you know, so that's it. So his brother can distribute it how he wants, and I know how he sees fit. How he sees fit. Because it was going to be.
You can do. You can only do what you can do. I mean, obviously, when a situation like this happens, Matt, as you well know, it's down to the family, and sometimes it happens very quickly for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a bit slower, so you get time to send things to people, etc. So, but
yeah,
it's the right thing. So, I mean, you sent things to the family, and obviously they know it's from the community, which he loved and he was well loved in. So,
yeah.
You've done the best you can. There's no issue there, I think.
I mean, his family in Wales are over the moon about it was £650. I transferred it today.
Wow.
You know, and so that's and people are still sending bits and pieces. I'm sure it will start to accumulate again because people, you know, are sending money through, and you know, that's it. So, but no, they did say that they may do a headstone for his ashes, depending on what happens to his ashes, which is kind of at the control and behest of his family in the United States. So, you know, I mean, I don't know at the moment. I've written to this chap, haven't got a response. I thought it was a bit weird. There must be a very good reason why we didn't get told and find out. You know, even if, but the thing is, as I said to somebody, even if they didn't want anyone to come to the cremation, that's fair enough. You just say, don't want anybody, but at least you could send the flowers across or something, or cards or whatever. But it was all just dealt with like overnight, and his place was emptied quickly. Everything was just chucked in bags. I understand that there's a and I'm only just giving you what I've been told, that the guy who I was in touch with may have taken Gareth's possessions in order to preserve them, because there was some question mark on what would have happened to them otherwise. But he's gone off the radar, and the guy said to me, like, you know, I'll definitely keep you in touch, let you know everything's going on. If you need to speak to me, here's my number. So I rang the number is disconnected, and I'm like, it's a bit weird. It's a little bit weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, so
time will tell.
You know, yeah.
It's all a bit, I mean, it's sort of like you said before when you first announced it, you know, it's all a bit raw. Things need to settle, don't they, sometimes, and things will then hopefully begin to evolve. And you know, it's a touchy subject, you know.
It is, and I mean, I've heard people have told me things on sides which, you know, I don't want to repeat on here, but you know, it's kind of like, no, I won't, no. But like various people are telling me things which I'm kind of having to sort of just put to one side, really, you know, and it's just, yeah. I mean, and it's also really, I suppose, at the end of the day, is none of my business either. Really, you know. I mean, we knew Gareth. Gareth is no longer here. It's down to his family to, you know, kind of really decide what happens to his stuff and what happens to him, and we can carry on his memory, but we've got no control over what happens in those respects. So yeah. But yeah, it's not for public consumption anyway, you know. Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just having a look in the chat to see what people were saying. This StreamYard's a bit weird. I keep moving up and it's disappearing on me. Oh, here we go.
But I mean, his family in Wales are keen to kind of, you know, make a memorial stone, and they are going to have a memorial get together meeting, and I'm going to go down and meet them and speak to them. And so we're, you know, there's going to be a number of us are going to go down and meet the family and have a chat and remember Gareth, and probably learn a hell of a lot more than I actually knew about him from, you know, meeting him on the internet and on his shows, which is a shame because I only met him once, didn't get to know enough about him. He was more interested in finding out about us, you know, because he came over to kind of like soak us up, you know, but we didn't really get to know an awful lot about him. So, sorry, which was a shame. But, you know, and I hoped one day that I would get to spend a bit more time around him and sort of like ask him a few more questions, you know, of him. But yeah. No, Gareth's YouTube hasn't gone, but it will if he doesn't administer it. You know, if nobody takes care of it and, you know, logs in as him, it will disappear eventually. I think that's the kind of nature of what happens with YouTube. There are things I've heard about that you can memorialize somebody's YouTube, but you have to request it. Because if you don't specifically request it from Google and put in a thing saying this person has died, they can't, you know, they can't make any decisions about their channel anymore. But, you know, we'd like it to stay up. Then they will. But if Google haven't heard from you within a certain amount of time, you know, and you haven't done anything to your channel, it just automatically self-deletes, you know, and you can come back to it, I think, probably within a certain space of time. And, oh, no, I didn't want that to happen. And they'll put it back up. But if you don't do anything with a certain amount of time after that, it's gone for good. I think that's how it works. And that's a little bit sad, you know, because I would have thought just if nobody's told you what to do with the YouTube channel, just don't touch it. Because it's like, just don't touch it. But Google's policy is, oh, no, we get rid of it if we haven't heard from you.
I suppose it's like any channel, they want the space, even though they probably don't need it.
But it's content as well, you know, so I dare say, you know, they should keep that content up there, because if you've authorized it can be there, they should keep it. But I don't know, they don't see it that way for some reason. And of course, to memorialize it, you'd have to be one of the family members, like, you know, a wife or something, and it's like, it'd be hard to contact people to kind of make that happen, you know, unless they want it to happen. Some would, some wouldn't, you know. So, yeah. I don't think it's something that the fans can necessarily do. The best way to deal with it, I think, is if fans of the channel want it to continue. And I've been thinking about this and going to be talking to people about it, is you just copy it, you copy the whole channel and you upload it, re-upload it again to somewhere where somebody can keep it alive, you know. That's probably the easiest way to keep it alive without, you know, getting the family involved, because I dare say, unless the children, like Gareth's children, want to kind of, you know, see it stay alive, but they can't, they probably don't know his logins and his passwords, nor would his wife, you know. So, you know, they could download it and upload it, but, you know, it's, if they wanted to, you know, it's something that I think people who appreciate what he did and his show would do, you know, maybe not even his children would do unless they were fans of their dad's work, you know. It's kind of just something that people just let go, you know. Who knows?
Yeah, it's quite tricky when that happens, isn't it? I mean, it's like anything media or digital, unless you got the passwords, unless there's not much you can do.
Yeah.
Not in the long run, because if it's just left, it will either stay there or just get deleted, as it does.
Yeah, let me look it up quickly. How long before YouTube delete a dead person's account? Let's have a look what it says. Right.
Joe. Why I'm man in the place.
Submit a request regarding a deceased user's account. Right. Make plans for your account. Inactive account manager is the best way to let us know who should have access to your information, whether you want your account to be deleted. Set up inactive account manager for your account. We recognize that many people pass away without leaving clear instructions on how to manage their online accounts. We can work with immediate family members and representatives to close the account of a deceased person where appropriate. In certain circumstances, we may provide content from a deceased user's account. In all of the cases, our primary responsibility is to keep people's information secure, safe, and private. We cannot provide passwords or other login details. Any decision to satisfy a request about a deceased user will be made only after a careful review. But it didn't say what happens after time, because I swore they take it down if they haven't had some, Yeah, here we are in 2012. It says, in fact, YouTube recently had a purging spree where the company literally deleted all the dead accounts on the site. So that was from 2012. This is talking about. Yeah.
So like dead accounts, is that accounts with nobody subscribed, nobody, on there, or
no, it means you haven't done anything to the account in a certain amount of time.
Right.
Like logged in as you, so it's like you haven't touched your own account. So, I mean, I'll have to do some more research on it, but I remember reading up about it before, and I was like, okay. Facebook, you can do a thing called memorialize the account.
Yes, you can, yeah.
So. Okay, so
Frank's saying he's got an old abandoned account from 10 years ago. He said it's no longer have a login details, but he's still there.
Right. And the problem is as well, I mean, a lot of people lose control of things because they can't recover their password because they don't have access to the original place that the emails would have been sent to, which is why it's always a good idea to have several pieces of information about you on there, like your real address, other things like multiple phone numbers, multiple email accounts. And I think it's a good idea as well that people set up a domain name for themselves, not just relying on their internet provider to give them emails. Like, having a Hotmail or a Google or something like that is fair enough. But I mean, like Hotmail could disappear, and then you can't log into it because Hotmail could be deleted by Microsoft. They just get rid of Hotmail. Google probably not so much, but if you're with BT or various other providers like Comcast in the States, well, you could change service and forget, like, but I need to have my Google account will send my password if I forget, and you then maybe want to have access to something you're not paying for anymore, so they've deleted your account, and that can be a problem. So I think it's a good idea to pay for a domain name for yourself and renew that domain each year, because no matter which company you go with, then you've always got your domain name. That's why I go me@thematthewwilliams.com. And that will then mean that I can get my emails no matter which company I'm with, wherever in the world I am, and I own that, as long as I keep paying for it, it's mine. so I'm not going to lose access to recover my stuff, even if I get cut off from my internet provider and don't pay the bill, or something like that, and they get rid of me. Then something to think about for people. But
I haven't got a domain name actually, not yet.
I've
got like an email address, which is John Bengal, but not a domain name. It's not something I've done yet. Just one of those things, to be honest. But you are right. I suppose looking at it logically, I should really set up a website as well.
I mean, or just go with something like Google, but Google's never going to go away. So if you've got a Gmail account, that's never going to go away. But
that's what I've got. I've got a Gmail account with John Bengal. So
yeah, I mean, Microsoft are such slimy shits, right? I mean, the way they operate is, I'm fairly certain of this. I mean, they don't admit to it, and I've not researched it, but I'm sure as hell they do this. They disable your passwords on your accounts and make you change your passwords from time to time, and it's a pain in the fucking arse. And they do it with Skype a lot, and the reason they do it is because
I've had that as well, because I've had the same stuff for years. So, and every now and then it won't let me in, no matter what I try. I'm like, no, I don't change that. So then you have to change it. So I'm with you on that.
Yeah. And the thing that they do it, the reason they do it is because they want to bring you back to the Microsoft website, because they've got this weird kind of like, oh, well, if we bring him back to the Microsoft website, he might go and buy Office 365 and spend 100, 200 quid with us. They've got this kind of like warped logic on, oh, he'll want to come and use Microsoft services, which are absolute shite. And I don't trust anything really from Microsoft, because anything you buy from Microsoft, any piece of hardware, any piece of software, anything will go out of date, and they'll stop supporting it.
And then you have to
always
renew the newfangled bullshit they bring out.
Yeah. Every mobile phone they've ever brought out, they've killed it within a year and then stopped providing service support for it. So it's useless. You're really lucky if you can keep any device. They've always done it, and I dare say, if you've got an Xbox, I'm guessing if you've got an Xbox One, you can't log in with it anymore. You can only log in with like the latest Xbox. You know what I mean? Because it's their way of going, no, time's up, can't use that anymore. Tell me in the chat if I'm correct, but I'm guessing because they've shat on every hardware product they've ever brought out, Microsoft, and they shat on it hard and quick, So I think Xbox is about the only thing they've ever sort of committed to keeping a little bit alive for a little bit longer, which is why I would never ever buy anything hardware related from Microsoft. They just remove the drivers off the website as well. They're shit. They just like, oh, really? Well, did we sell this? It's like, yeah, it's got your name on it. Oh, really? Drivers? So you have to go and get them from somewhere else, because Microsoft just go, nope.
I've found that before. They just don't have them on there. So you have to go back to the if you can find it, the manufacturer. Yeah. It's the same with laptops and everything else. You can never find what you want. You have to go to like a specific driver site, don't you? Just to bloody find the chipset or something like that. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's the same with Windows, though. They just update when they bloody well want, even when you don't want to.
Yeah. I mean, again, like they're saying, Teams, what the hell is all that about? Teams. I mean, they've already owned Skype. Why do they have to create like a conferencing system called Teams? Why? You own Skype. Stop fucking about. Just support and put more features into Skype. Oh no, we're going to create this side project. It's like, well, Teams will last about 2-3 years, and then they'll go, oh, it was never successful. We're shelving it. It's like, and then everyone who's committed to like putting things into it and starting to use it and integrate it, it's like, oh, we've decided we're not bothering with that now. Sure, gone again. Everything Microsoft ever designed that is away from the core Office packages, apart from an Xbox and apart from Skype, they don't support it in a couple of years' time. Gone. Not supported.
Yeah. I mean, look at, was it Windows 7? They discontinued any support for that. So we all got Windows 10 and it's all fucking hunky-dory. But now by 2025, that's out the window as well. They're not going to support it anymore. So all these people, all these offices and, you know, companies who have upgraded, they're all screwed by 2025 because they won't be, they have to upgrade again.
Yeah. And I mean, I really scratch my head on the way they've kind of screwed up Outlook, which is just a horrible email program. Messy, all over the place, buggy, you know, and all they've done over the years is just reskin it and reskin it and reskin it, you know, and yet it has the same faults that it's had for like 15 years are still there in a new version, because it's at its core, it's just the same thing with a new skin, and it's bloody hard to get it to behave. Like I've got a 4K monitor, and it will not allow me to resize to a full 4K monitor without some fonts being so bloody small you can't read them. Right? And there's even a crazy situation where, like, if everything's small, there's a zoom control, right? So you can zoom up the email so you can read it. And then when you go to the next email, the zoom has gone back again. It's like, really? No, I got to zoom every fucking email. Can't you just fucking leave it there and say that's the zoom I want? Nope. No.
So what is it now? Is it Office Office 365? You've got the Outlook. It's all like, oh, we'll have it online. I still use the old version because the new version is shit. You know, you could always drop and drag documents in, and you can send your email. It's all good. New one, no, you've got to download it, or you've got to put it here, and you've got to do it there. Fuck off. All I want to do is go click on there, put it onto there, send it to who I want to send to. Doesn't like it in the new one.
Yeah. Pompey Explores and Gaming says, I work for Inland Revenue, HMRC. I used to work for HMRC. What a bunch of knuts they are. They fucking were. Yeah. I worked in personnel, training and development. I worked in CIU, Criminal Investigation Unit. And I worked in VAT debt management. And talk about a bunch of tossers who did my nuts. Boring bastards who didn't like the fact I was writing a little magazine and had a tantrum on because who the hell does he think he is with his little magazine? And they were like trying to chase me down the whole time I was in the department. You know, like, you're using our photocopier to make your magazine. No, I'm not. Well, you must be. I said, do you want to come to my house and see my photocopier? And do you want to see my toner supply? Yeah. What, you think I'm going to stand here in work fucking going for 6 fucking hours when I can do that in the house without looking over my shoulder, wondering whether you're going to come in going, oh, are you using our photocopier to make a magazine? I said, you people, honestly, you make shit up. Yeah? Come around my fucking house, right? And I'll show you that the marks from all my copies from my photocopier, the same marks on my drum are on every fucking page that I photocopy in my magazine. And I was like, you know, what next are you going to try to fucking get me with? You know what I mean? So, yeah, such a petty bunch of wankers I've never met before in my life. But it is the civil service. Absolute petty, penny pinching, fucking up your arse, fucking spying on you, don't like you because you're different. You know, fucking wankers. So I absolutely know what you're going through if you say you work for Customs and Excise and faking HMRC, because I was back in the Customs and Excise day. Unfucking believable. And a bunch of fucking Freemasons, a lot of them, half of them in the higher ranks, yeah, fucking getting their sons and daughters in through the back door and fucking accelerating and being promoted before other people who are waiting in line for promotion, and boop, 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 up the fucking line. And that's not supposed to happen. Yeah. Matt, you cannot be more right.
It's not.
Yeah, he says, Matt, you cannot be more right, but it's a secure job for now. Yeah, until they see that you think, and then they don't like you. Yeah. And I embarrassed people because I went into some places like where they had all the debts, right? And I said, oh, I'm going to use the computer and start tracking these people down. And I was using Equifax. And they were going, oh, we don't want you using that because it costs 30 pence a search to do it. And I was going, yeah, but I've just tracked down somebody who owes you fucking 50 grand. And they're like, So they fucking had a tantrum because they had a whole room full of women, right? Literally all women that had things stacked up by the sides of their desks. So they would just go through them and go and write a letter to the same address they'd been writing letters to for the last 20 times they'd written letters going, are you there? Are you going to pay the debt? And that was it. They never hear from them, and they'd go, in the end, write it off because they couldn't find people. And I came along and started finding people. This was considered a threat, you see. So I was called into the office and fucking pulled over the coals for this. So I thought, fuck this, I'm getting out of here. So I transferred somewhere else. They just kept, they were always on my fucking heels. They wanted you to be mediocre and literally pretend like you had work to do. So nobody else had to do too much work. And it was the most boring, fucking mind-numbing experience to just be pretending to do work, you know, when you could actually do something meaningful.
I know
I
what
fucking
you mean.
hate. Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean. I can't say where one place I did work, but that's exactly the same. They expect you just to sit there, go, yeah, I made a phone call today. Yeah, I've done a little bit of work. I'm going home now. Yeah, all right then. Yeah, do you that.
Yeah.
All because it's government.
Yeah.
Because they just cream it. And as soon as you start doing proper work, they'll go, what are you doing that for? Well, you can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. Well, why not?
So what is a G7 then equivalent to? EO, HEO? What's all that? Yeah.
I don't know what a G7 is.
No, I don't know. Equivalent.
I am AO grade Pompey.
Yeah, AO. Oh yeah, no, I came in as AA, right? Fucking the bottom of the fucking bottom. £8,000 a fucking year. I couldn't have afforded to live anywhere apart from staying at home with my parents when I was working there, because there's no way you could have afforded to move out of home. You know, how the fuck they expect you to work for £8,000 a fucking year? It just did my nut in. I went part-time in the end because I just didn't want to be there. I really didn't want to be there. And it's the only way I stayed sane. And they sacked me in the end. They said I was hacking the departmental computer system. And I was just like, fuck off, you pricks. They asked me to design a record-keeping system. And I said, well, I can't do that without permission of the IT department, because they already fucking wonder what I'm up to, because I've got a skill in computers, you know, and they're like looking over my shoulder, like, look at him, who the fuck does he think he is, Mr. Computer Man? So they were like, you know, oh, what's he up to? And I was like, for fuck's sake. Anyway, so what they did, asked me to design this computer system. When I finished doing it and they started using it, they went, oh, you put icons to start your thing on your desktop. Nobody gave you permission to put icons to start your fucking program on a desktop. It's like, well, how the fuck do you expect to fucking start it then? Telepathy? It's like you fire up your machine, and you got Word, yeah, and you got like the VAT debt management thing, and then you got my program. Which one do you want? How are you going to fucking start it without an icon on the desktop? It's just like, fuck off, you pricks. And that's what I got sacked for putting the icons for the thing they asked me to design on a desktop. And they were using it and continued to use it after I left. But I wasn't allowed to put them on the desktop because I didn't ask permission. Okay.
Okay,
right.
then.
Yeah, whatever. Fucking best thing that ever happened to me was being sacked from that place.
So if you go in there now, they probably all got it on the fucking desktop going, yeah, there we are. What happened to the guy who invented that? Well, he got sacked.
Well, we sacked him because he put his icons on the desktop. But yeah, if you need to get in there, just double click the icon on the desktop to start it up. Yeah. They were just fucking looking for a reason to fucking get rid of me because I was into paranormal stuff and writing magazines about conspiracies and fucking government conspiracies, and they didn't fucking like it. So it came down from above. Get rid of this fucking guy.
Because half of them are probably fucking true.
Yeah. Well, all I can say, Pompey, right, is do not ever do anything apart from appear to be a boring fucking bastard, right? Go and marry some fucking, plain looking bird and have a couple of fucking plain kids, right? And just don't do anything clever. Don't get a sports car, right? Don't learn to fly an aircraft, which is, all these things will make the civil service fucking hierarchies dicks shrivel up, right? And they will have a storming fucking headache in their minds that the fact that you work there for them, yeah? They don't like people that are doing interesting or clever fucking things, Maybe play football for the civil service fucking team. Maybe go down the fucking pub and have a drink with them and be like them, but don't do anything that's fucking more clever or exciting than them because they'll fucking hate you. Yeah, be very boring because that's what the civil service is about. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mark Lewis has said you should have had a back door and shut it down. That would have been fucking brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they fucking, they just didn't understand. They were just like looking at me fucking doing stuff on the computer and they're like, fucking hell, what's he doing? But they sent me on fucking training courses because they knew I was adept at computers. So what do you expect? But then when they see you doing something on the computer, they fucking suspect you doing something you shouldn't be doing. Like, and it's like, what the fuck?
That's what they do, though, isn't it? Like you go into the office, you do your daily thing, and then they send you on courses, which fucking hell could take about half a day, but they make sure it drags it out for 2 days, and you get a free lunch, and it's bullshit. I remember doing that, sitting in just an office a whole day, learning something you could learn in probably about half a day, but they drag it out. And you get a free lunch and you go home thinking, what the fuck have I just sat for all day? And 9 times out of 10, you know it anyway because it's common sense, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, and like some of the most fucking horrible wankers, like a guy who was a big manager, above everybody, came in and he said, right, I'm new in town. I do things differently. This is literally what he said. I'm new in town. I do things differently. And if anybody doesn't like them, we can arrange for a transfer for you. And everybody's just looking at each other and it's like, nobody said a fucking word. And it's like, but everyone just said, he's a fucking prick. Who the fuck speaks to a new staff they've never met before like that? And like, he had it in for me. He called me in and fucking started speaking to me like shit. And I said, I'm not having this. I went to the fucking union over it. And then he was like, oh, no. Yeah. It's like, and I said, you just said that. You just fucking dressed me down like a fucking idiot, talking to me like a piece of shit. And now you're like, oh, no. And I said, whatever. So I got out of that. I got out of the personnel department. I did exactly what he said because he was just there to headhunt people out of that, to get rid of people, out of that place. And I mean, I'm not somebody who'll let people like that talk to me like shit. So that's where it started with him, and then he made sure that wherever I went, they were fucking on me, because I didn't kowtow down to him and fucking bow before him, basically. And that's what it was. That's where it started.
Too right. You don't do it. I've had that.
Yeah.
Geezer didn't like me and literally just wanted to try and hound me out. So I played at their own game and fucked them over and left. Not having it. Never take it. And well done to you. What's this? Webcam check. Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah. Why they bother Why would they bother coming into a channel like this? You know, and putting in fucking stupid things like that in there.
If there's any mods in there, just get rid of that for me, because I've just tried it. Just went, oh, it doesn't do it.
Do you know what? I've been thinking of going back to the customs and excise building because it's been empty for years. Like I've been going back to work. I reckon it must be 5-10 years. It's been empty because what they did is they moved all the customs and excise offices into inland revenue as a like cost saving thing, and but nobody ever went to the building where we were in Cardiff. It's very close to Cardiff Castle. And I would actually be very interested in getting back in my old building and saying, I fucking sat there and I've sat there and that's where the fucking records were. Fucking, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, probably all the files are still there if it's been there that long. Because you know
they
what these
took everything.
Like. Oh, they did. But you know what
took
these
everything out.
Are like. They don't take nothing. They just leave the buildings and leave them how they are.
Yeah. Do you know what I found absolutely amazing? It changed when I was there. When I first started working for Customs and Excise in their headquarters, they didn't have any alarms at all to speak of. Nothing. No CCTV and no alarms in the building at all. That was like boosh. But when I was there, they introduced door opening card things where you had to hold a card against a door. But like we're talking like over 5 years of being in there. It was only 5 years and I got sacked, right? But like I was just amazed that if anybody really wanted to, on a weekend, could have come into Customs and Excise, jimmied a door open, walked up completely through the whole of the building. The only place in the whole building, the criminal investigation unit, they were the only place that had a locked door in the building, right? They could have gone into the VAT office, right? Gone into the where all the VAT files were, and literally opened up the Rolodexes and pulled out anyone's VAT files and come out of the building, and there would be no cameras, no alarms. They could have done what they fucking liked. I thought that was mind blowing. That Customs and Excise were like that. They just didn't have any concept of security. It's mind-blowing. No alarms. They would lock the doors in this building, and I would love to take people to the building to just show them. I say they lock the doors on the weekend, and that's it. And if you smashed your way in there, nobody would have known you were in there.
That's crazy, isn't it?
You know, we're talking, what was this? The 1990s, this was.
But even those maglocks that you used to get, I mean, and you still get them now, they're so easy. I mean, you don't even need to. You can shunt the door and they open. They're only on a magnet. Yeah,
I mean, it's a funny thing because I would have thought they would have been really hot on security, but it's almost like being in a hotel. Why would they have alarms? Because they're always open. So they don't have alarms because they're always open. It's only if they ever shut, like when, like they had to shut for some long period, they might consider, maybe we should put some alarms in or something, But it's like, why would they? Well, Customs and Excise, I think they just operated on this policy of like, well, nobody would want to really try and get in here because who would? They just like, people would be scared to. It's like, fucking no, they're lucky nobody ever tried. Because had somebody got in there, they could have set fire to the bloody, the VAT records, and that would have been it. There would have been no physical paper copy of any records for anyone's VAT.
Blimey.
Which is like, again, mind-blowing. And the thoughts went through my head like, my God, this is crazy. But you think, don't say anything because they'll wonder why you're saying that. But it's like, I was just thinking, what the fuck is going on in this place? Look, if somebody broke in here on the weekend and set the fucking VAT records on fire, the whole building would go up. Yeah. Mad. Absolute madness. And somebody nearly set the guy I told you who's the wanker who came in and said, if you don't like it, you can fucking, leave. We'll find another place for you to go. He nearly set the fucking building on fire because he was such a moron. He put one of these electric fires you get, right? It comes in a flat pack, so it's like a really small package.
Yeah.
And when you open it, the feet are in there, and you're meant to screw the feet onto the underneath of the fire. This guy was like a high executive officer in customs and excise, right? Civil service, fucking brainiac, right? Didn't attach the feet to the bottom of the fire and put it flat down on the floor, right? So it had no air going through it, so it wasn't circulating air. Yeah, right. And me and one other guy came in to do some work on overtime in the weekend, and we were like, "It's a fucking smell. What's that smell?" I said, "Something's not right in this building." And we walked down a long way down the corridor to where all these fucking, bigwigs fucking, and I was like, "Fucking, there's something in it. It's coming from this fucking office, man." So we had to ring up and say, "Where's the keys? Where do we get emergency keys to get in this office? Because something smells like it's fucking burning." And we got told where the keys were. We went in his office, and it was the same prick. And fucking hell, the whole room was full of fucking smoke. Lifted up, and again, no fucking smoke alarms. Nothing had gone off. No triggered alarms, and it was like the whole room was full of fucking smoke, right? And lifted it up, and the fucking carpet was singed, and like wanting to go on fucking fire. And like, what a fucking moron. Like, somebody thinks that you open a box of stuff and then what are these plastic feet? No, I'll just put it on the floor and just turn it on. It'll be fine. That was him. His name was Mel Scudamore, and he's still in fucking customs and excise now, I think. Mel fucking Scudamore. And the guy is the biggest fucking cunt I ever met. Yeah. It's like Ryan Kirby, shouldn't say his name. It's like fucking Swindon Spastic, right? Put him in a fucking suit and put him in customs and excise, being a dickhead to people, like going, "I'm going to ruin your life. I'm going to ruin your life. I've got power and I'm going to ruin your fucking life." Mel fucking Scudamore, right? He's fucking still in customs and excise, and he nearly burnt the fucking building down because he don't even realize you got to put the feet from a flat pack. What's these plastic things? Really? Well, with a packet of screws and a couple of plastic things and an instruction manual that tells you to screw the plastic things onto the fire and not to operate it without them. And that's how fucking clever the cunt is. Yeah. Yeah.
What a bellend.
So Pompey, if you can look him up, right? Look up Mel Scudamore. He was in South Wales, so he'd have gone to Inland Revenue Tax Office in fucking Clinician. Yeah, he would have gone over there. He is the biggest cunt on the fucking planet, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, he really fucking pissed me off, and he was the start of the downfall of my fucking career in customs and excise. And I'm glad to be out there because Frank, it's just like
Sorry, I'm just looking at Frank. He's got GEC and Marconi very tight back when he worked there in the 90s. Don't need to tell me on here, or if you've got Matt's number, just text him or whatever. Marconi, are you saying, if I say Essex, is that where you were? Because I happen to know that building. Well,
yeah.
Hang on.
There. So somebody's asking me how to spell Mel Scudamore, but I'm going to have to log into wherever I am because I can't type it on the chat for some reason. I don't know why. Hang on. Mr. John Bengal presents. Bengal.
Yeah, don't spell it wrong because you'll get some Indian woman with cooking.
Well, I typed in Mr. Actually, I got it under Mr. John Beagle, like the dog, and it's come up. It's actually come up. It's come up. So there we are. Right now there we are. So it's the cunt's name was Mel Scudamore. So if you become higher ranked than Mel Scudamore and you ever get a chance to fucking play with the fucker, right, and fuck his head up and fucking make sure you try and imply that he's doing something wrong and fuck him off out of the fucking department like he did to a lot of other people, please, you have my blessing. Fuck that guy off.
Okay, yeah. Frank, yeah, I understand what you talk. I know what you talk about in Rochester. Yeah, definitely, mate. Gotcha. I'm just curious, that's all.
Mm. Yeah. And do you know what that guy actually did as well, Mel Scudamore? Because the reason they got him in was because, and I know this is going to sound like mind-blowing to people, right? The personnel department, when I worked there, did not cut corners and we did not fuck around. We did it as per the rules. And the people up the corridor, the Freemasons, didn't like that because they wanted to get their sons and daughters in. So it was known about, it was well known that in Swansea, because we were based in Cardiff, but in Swansea, they had managed to employ somebody and it had never gone through the personnel department. Which is like, you do what? Right? Because like people write their letters in saying, here's my CV, I want to be in customs and excise. And when a job comes up, they are interviewed by the personnel department. And yet, somehow, it had been allowed and somehow wangled, this happened years ago, right? That somebody in Swansea had been employed, never gone through the personnel department. It had just been like from on high, this person now works for customs and excise. And guess what? The people in personnel, when they found out about it, kicked up a fuss about it. And that's why they brought in Mel Scudamore. Because Mel Scudamore was there to get rid of anybody who was going to fucking create any fuss in the future so he could do more of the same. Because he came from Swansea, right? He wasn't, I don't think he was the guy who did it, but he came from Swansea and Bridgend, right? So he came from there and he was brought in as a fucking headhunter to get rid of anyone that was going to cause resistance for future attempts. And one of the first things he did when he came in is he got a guy called, I think it's Mike Coyle. He got Mike Coyle's son in, right? And fucking accelerated him fucking to make sure he fucking got promoted in front of everybody who was waiting in the fucking department. And nobody dared say a fucking word about it because Mike Coyle was a high up and fucking Mel Scudamore was a bastard in personnel who had allowed that to go through. So it's basically like a Freemason fucking takeover. It's like, you know, we will do what we want. Yeah,
I've seen that. I've seen that a number of times in. I can't say where, but yeah, I've seen that, and it's so obvious as well. It's not like
they don't hide it.
No, not at all. It's like blatant, and you don't. No one says anything, and you're like, fucking hell, that person. Not a mole. That's the wrong word, but like you know that person's there to fuck everybody over. They will rise the ranks really quickly. And then they'd just be a complete cunt.
Yeah.
Every time.
So that's what Mel Scudamore did. And I mean, he had people from the personnel department in tears. These are people who'd been there for a long time and wanted to see it done the right way. Now, here's a funny thing as well, right? You know, like Colin Baker, Doctor Who?
Yeah.
I worked with his brother, Mike Baker, not the Mike Baker who was Doctor Who, because it was a Mike Baker Doctor Who, remember? You know, he was the best doctor probably, but Colin Baker, there were curly
Tom
haired.
Baker, not Mike Baker.
Oh, Tom Baker, that's right. Sorry, Tom Baker. Yeah, that's right. It was Tom Baker. But Mike Baker, this Colin Baker's brother, I worked with him. And he is the guy who told me about Swansea and what they'd done getting somebody in there that not even gone through recruitment, right? And I had a word with him about it. I said, what is going on, Mike? What's the fucking deal with all this shit? And he said, Freemasons. Right? And he'd been there for years. He'd been there like for 40 years. And he said, it's Freemasons. And I said, really? Is it just as literally as blatant as that? And he said, yep. He said, and I spoke up about it years ago. And they basically let me know, well, you ain't getting promoted ever again. And that's why I've been where I've been for like 30 years.
Yeah, he said because everywhere.
Yeah. And they got rid of him from personnel when this new Scudamore got in. He was put in another place. So they could just fuck with personnel and fuck with getting people in that they wanted, you know, as much as they wanted to. And that was the idea. So I question whether, you know, was Scudamore a Freemason? I don't know.
Matt, and I always learn the handshake, and then it opens the wonders of things.
I know the handshakes and I know some of the signs and things like that. And I was taken into somebody's office one day and it was weird. And I think I was meant to identify myself as a Freemason at that point, and I didn't do it. And
yeah, I quite believe that. And you end up shit creek, really, aren't you?
Yeah. But the thing is, I don't agree with all that sort of fucking cronyism and fucking bullshit. Because, I mean, if somebody is good enough to do the job, they would rise through the ranks by being a shining star. But being pushed through the ranks because of, you know, family and who you are is not really how things work or things should work. But whatever. Fucking nepotism and bullshit like that, you know, it's not right. But that's why I didn't.
It is in a lot of places, you know. You either excel in what you do and naturally progress, because I'm sure there's people who do that, but 9 times out of 10 it's to do with what you're associated with. So like you're saying, Freemasons and other weird fucking organizations which are below the radar, shall I say. And then you know, and then people don't question it because they don't know, do they? That's the thing. Unless you know what you're looking at, people don't question it.
Yeah. I mean, I saw quite a few things going on in there which weren't right, but, you know, and just like ignored, where you'd imagine people would have been pulled up or sacked over these things, and you just go, what the fuck? I remember there was an Indian woman. That's all right. Merlin, her name was. Merlin. A short Indian woman. Yeah, Merlin, Indian woman, right? And everyone said she's completely incompetent. But she literally had them by the balls because she was playing the fucking victim race card all the time. And she was just fucking, she just used to fuck with the personnel, and she'd frightened a number of people, like saying, oh, you call me a fucking Paki and all this fucking stuff, or an Indian. And she was doing this sort of stuff. And they were like, oh, back off. You know, we get some fucking bad publicity here. So they let her do almost no fucking work, right? And be a prick, right? Now, you know, I signed the Official Secrets Act, and you can fucking kiss my ass, because I'm not really supposed to discuss matters like this. There was a fucking woman that was shafting over the fucking whole of Customs and Excise by feigning being sick and saying it was because of her work, you know, the work she had to do, which was what, like being behind a fucking desk, and she was fucking pulling them over, right? And she got a house transfer, right? Which I don't know if a lot of people know, but when you go from A to B in civil service jobs, they often pay for a house transfer. So they buy your next house for you. They buy your next house, and then you've got to sell your old one. But of course, because she was pulling one over on the department, she wouldn't sell her old house. So she had 2 houses. And the civil service are paying for this. And because she was pulling this, like, you know, oh, you're making my brain hurt. I'm getting mental problems because you're pressurizing me. And they were like, back off. Let her have what she wants. So the thing is, a lot of people who knew how to, there we are, like you say, not anymore. That stopped years ago. Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, the abuses that used to go on, honest to God, people got no idea. And it's the ones who play up on the race card, or the sexist card, or he touched my tit, or, you know, and all this, it was just used as a reason to make people back off and not, you know, not sort of. So, I mean, I heard some horror stories, and these people were being paid to do no work, and they had a house removal and all sorts of shit. And it was just unbelievable. And, you know, and this Merlin, do you know this Merlin? They actually said, oh no, it wasn't her. It was somebody else. That's right. Yeah, somebody else. She was working as a civil servant, low grade, and she was a doctor in India. She was actually a doctor in India. And now I think to myself, because I'm a bit older, I'm thinking, no, she fucking wasn't. She just put that on her fucking CV to get in. She wasn't. Because what the fuck? You're not going to fucking work in a sort of lowly fucking civil service job if you're working as a fucking doctor in India, are you? You're gonna fucking you're gonna do some more fucking training, and you're gonna get yourself a decent paid fucking job. Yeah. So you want no fucking doctor in India. Bollocks. I just put on a fucking CV to fucking look clever to get her in the fucking door. Bollocks. But people told me this, because people in the civil service would say that. Oh, she used to be a doctor, because they're fucking like sheep. And it's like, and at the time I just went, okay, because they probably know better than I do. Now I'm thinking, fuck that shit. Somebody's like, you're a doctor, are you? I'd be fucking asking them fucking questions about medicine and shit. I'd be like, yeah, so what? They would never have done that in a personnel interview. I fucking would have. I'd have been like, oh, you're a doctor, are you? Right, okay. What's this medicine then? What does it interact with? She'd be like, oh, well, it's been a while since it's like, yeah, fuck off. you fake piece of shit. Get the fuck out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking bullshit. I'm a lot wiser now.
Yeah, I mean, it happens all the time, doesn't it? I mean, like you say, people will just come in and you think, you ain't what they bullshit their way through, and they know people, you know this, you know that, and then they fumble their way through this job, and people like yourself, me, you're like, I know what I'm doing. You ain't got a fucking clue, but you just get stuck there, don't you? Because you don't conform. I mean, I'm probably my worst enemy because I don't conform. If I don't think that's right, I ain't gonna fucking do it, and I'll tell them that as well.
Yeah.
But it happens. I mean, luckily I don't deal with any of that now, but I have in my past had to deal with shit like this, and it just does your head in, really. Because no matter what you try or what you say, it falls on deaf ears, and these people get away with what they want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, more mozzies.
Something, yeah. This is just for Pompey because you probably understand what I'm talking about. I mean, I was warned by Mike Baker. He said, there are the fuddy-duddies, that you don't want to piss off in the civil service. And he said they're usually the old school, like the old guard. And he said, because what you don't realize, Matt, he says a lot of these people joined from being in the army, and they don't have any real qualifications, like they can't read and write properly or haven't got math skills, but they got a guaranteed job because they were in the army. So it's like they can either become a police officer or a fucking civil servant without having the qualifications. He said, no, we don't do that anymore, but they got in at a time when they did. So he said, these people have now risen through the ranks, and they fucking demand respect now. You see, and what they used to do years ago, when they were in the department, is you had to walk a certain. If you were like a grade below the other guy you were with, you weren't allowed to talk to him. You had to only talk when spoken to, right? He said, and you had to work literally, regimentally, like 10 paces behind him. So they go into a door first. You follow them as the assistant, and you don't speak unless spoken to. And I'm like, what, in the civil service? And he's like, oh yeah, no, because they wanted it to be like their own little personal army, right? And he said, and they wanted it to be yes sir when spoken to. Don't look them in the eyes, walk like 10 paces behind them, and like you never ever go in front of them. You don't go to pick anything up or do anything unless they ask you to do it, because then you're taking away their authority. So if they drop their bag, you don't run up and get it. They have to say, can you get that for me? If you were to run up and grab it, then you fucking offended them. And it's like literally they were like, he said, it wasn't written on paper, but everyone knew those rules. Yeah. The do's and the don'ts of what not to do. And Pompey may have heard stuff like this, but it was just the biggest load of old bollocks on the planet, right? However, they weren't allowed to do it anymore. But some of those old guard still wanted to do it. So if you work for them, you kind of had to be told, you're going to get on well if you don't do this and you don't do that and you don't say this and you don't behave like that, because they demand this kind of regimented army respect in their little fucking world. And you just like, it's just mind-blowing. You know, like in a sort of modern office environment that you would have had this sort of nonsense going on.
Pompey's like, you know, put down, I have, Matt, and it still happens to a degree nowadays. So yeah, it's still there.
Yeah. So anyone who says I didn't fucking work for customs excise and in the fucking civil service, fuck you, because I did. I fucking heard all the bullshit and I saw some of it too. You know, and the thing is, I would go up and I would speak to these higher officers, and I would just go, "Hello, you know, how's things?" And of course, it was meant to be "Hello, sir," you know. But I would just talk to them, you know, just like a normal human being. But they would go, But secretly, they'd be thinking, "I'm going to get that little cunt." That's what they were thinking. But they wouldn't say it. They would be like, and they'd talk to you, but they'd be like, "Who the fuck does he think he is?" That's it, see? You know, you piss them off because you treat them just like you treat anyone else. You ask them a question, you take something, you know. It's like if you were walking in to give them some papers, you were meant to walk in, not look them in the eyes and say, "Sir, I have your documents for you." And then they say, "Yes, give them here." And then you approach and give it to them. If you just walk in and say, "Sir, here's your documents," and give it to them, they're like thinking, "Who the fuck do you think you are?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People got no idea. You know, this is the civil service. People like this exist, and they're mollycoddled and protected. Yeah, and some of them can't even read and write properly because they got in from the army. Yeah. And they want to be called sir, and they can't even read and write properly. Yeah.
Right,
and they're in an office job. Yeah.
I'm going to end this now, Matt, because I need a bit of kip. So,
all right.
Thank you for coming on, my friend. I appreciate it.
That's all right. I thought I'd just give you some of the horrors.
No, why not? No, it's good. It's good. I'm pleased. Thank you for everybody who's come along. And if you're new, like and subscribe to me and Matt. Although Matt's probably got half the nation already there, so it don't matter. I will speak to you all soon. Thanks very much, and good night.
Good night.